Hey, thank you for pressing play on this episode of the Jock and Nerd podcast. This week on the show, we discuss Zack Snyder stepping away from the Justice League movie, Wonder Woman early reactions, something called the Sony Marvel Universe, which makes absolutely no sense, and the fact that Marvel Studios has given us super spoilery trailers and a mess of a poster for Spider-Man Homecoming. Plus, Anthony and I ended up at a WWE pay-per-view wrestling event.
Bro, do you even podcast?
Yeah, for reals. That happened. And you're going to get our review of Ridley Scott's latest Alien Covenant, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, May 25th, 2017.
Check. Check one. All right. This is ruling fans out there. Let's give it up. We talking, we heard it. We funny, disturbing. We talking, we heard it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We talking, we heard it. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. We talking, we heard it. We spoiler alert. Give it up.
What's up, listener? Hello. And welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the little sickly rug boy in the corner. Rugs, how you feeling?
I feel pretty good. What's up, motherfuckers?
There you go. See, I know you.
That was strange.
Don't hurt yourself. Look, we have a slightly under the weather Rugs. He can't kick this puppet herpes that's been going around. You know,
I've been on dialysis.
I think the best he could do is try to pass on the puppet herpes to another puppet. What do you think?
The puppets don't have good health care. That's the one thing that it sucks to be about being a felty is that you really have the shittiest health care.
Well, not in Trump's America, that's for sure. He doesn't give even though there's a puppet for president, he doesn't give a shit about his own people.
No.
Oh,
Trump's America now.
Trump's America now. Welcome, listener. If you are a first-time listener, thanks for checking us out. Here's the goofiness you're going to get. This is a weekly geek fest of a podcast show where we hang out every week and we talk about what we love. And what we love is comic book and superhero-related stuff. The movies, the TV shows, the actual comic books. This show is going to be some news and reviews. Going to be lots of fun. We got a couple of things of news to talk about. Anthony, you'll be proud of me because I restrained myself. There's only like 4 things.
I'm glad when you restrain yourself.
Yes, not all over the face and chest just yet. Just wait, though. It's early. It's early in the show. A little bit of news. Then we're going to review an event. Anthony and myself, we found ourselves at a WWE wrestling pay-per-view event.
Oh,
shit. Yes, that actually happened, listener. And we'll let you know what we thought.
I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Exactly. We'll explain everything. And then you're going to get our review of the latest Alien movie from Ridley Scott himself, Alien Covenant. And then we got a little bit of emails. And that's the show. But before we begin, guys, Anthony.
Yeah.
I heard that some of our coworkers are enjoying an impression you do.
Oh, of you?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's the... I don't think you've ever actually done this, but when people like to think that when you spaz out, you sound like this.
That's pretty accurate. Oh boy, Ruggs is dying. Ruggs, hang in there. Somebody call an ambulance. Pretty much all you got to do is go overreact, hyperbole, expletive, overreaction, hyperbole, expletive, hyperbole, and then just.
Oh my God, Spider-Man!
That is how you imitate an Imran speech.
I need to catch my breath.
That's pretty accurate. So we have some coworkers that have been. Jesus, Ruggs. Oh my God, I feel.
Taste metal.
Do you smell toast? That's a bad sign. Wait, yeah. Anthony, some of our coworkers have been listening to the show and giving you some feedback, haven't they?
Yes, they have. So one of the newer coworkers who recently got hired gave the show a listen. He enjoyed it.
Okay, good.
But he compared what the dynamic between me and you is this. You are this sheep on acid, and I am trying to steer you back to the pasture. And without me there, you're just going to keep going all over the place. So I'm there to steer you back into pasture.
You know what? That's
You're a sheep on acid.
It's pretty accurate. That's absolutely pretty accurate. And that's why we make a great pair because without you, I don't know where the show will go. It would be 12 hours long and we would end up
12 hours long, and we'd be talking about your vitiligo for like 8 of it.
Yeah, we'd end up somewhere way in outer space. So
Or your bald spot.
well, speaking of that, Ruggs, I want Anthony, tell Rugboy what you periodically like to do to me. There's no other way to bring this up. I don't know how to say this.
I don't. Yeah, for like the past month and a half, for good luck, I will rub Imran's bald spot.
Did you touch it?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
and then I will think of the first thing I think of that makes me hungry when I'm touching him, and it's usually either peaches or kiwi.
And it's because it's a little bit fuzzy up there, people. It's
'Cause it's not exactly smooth. It's like a little.
So you
fuzzy.
rub his head and you think about the food that it reminds you of?
Yes.
Yep.
That sounds so gross.
Oh, shit.
Just lay your fingers after you touch his bald spot.
It's, you keep doing this and it's going to be shiny and smooth. And you know what? Honestly,
Originally, it was for luck.
right. It was like rubbing. Yeah, it was like
And then I like rubbing a genie's. Rubbing. What is it?
the
Aladdin
lamp.
thing.
Yeah.
The
One of
lamp. Yeah, and then Aladdin comes out.
One of these
It's
days,
so weird because I always knew Imran with like luxurious hair.
so in college, dude, I grew my hair out long, like down to my shoulders, and then it would curl up like a little Holland girl, into a perfect bob.
Yeah, you're like Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that may be why I'm balding at the top now. But look, one of these days you're going to rub my head. A blue genie's going to come out of my ear and grant your wishes. Just don't wish for more wishes.
If you converted to Judaism, you could just wear a yarmulke and cover it up.
I know. I have a skin yarmulke. I call it.
Oh, shit.
This is my skamika. It's my skin yarmulke. I'm an honorary Jew. All
Or
right?
you could join a monastery and blend in.
And you know what? It's only slightly emasculating, and I kind of like the feeling, so I don't mind.
I've just been waiting for a blue genie to come out of him.
Rub away. All right, you fuckers. Let's get to the news. That was not embarrassing at all.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
I'm happy I heard about that.
Right? I think we needed to share because it's a thing that's been happening. And like right now, I have a ghost sensation of you rubbing my bald spot, and it's just.
Yeah, because Imran will just
tingling.
be like looking at a computer, and I'll just come up behind him, go Imran, and just start touching his balls.
I go, woo, oh, hi.
How do you feel when he does that? Imran?
I said it's slightly emasculating, but it feels good. So I'm gonna let him continue.
The other day he'd been painting all day, so he's like, it's a little sweaty. Still
rubbed it, and he still rubbed it.
Oh, shit.
Listener, if you want to know, if you want to write about my bald spot and contact the show, if you want to interact and get in touch with us, say hi. Just visit jockandnerd.com/contact.
Photos need to go on Twitter immediately.
Is going to be a
the
meme?
whole entire thing happening and rubbing it.
Pictures or it didn't happen?
Yeah, it's got to be a picture of Anthony rubbing your bald spot, and then like a picture of a kiwi, like he's thinking about it in like a bubble.
Sometimes when he's rubbing my bald spot, my right leg starts bouncing up and down uncontrollably. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh no.
Okay, look.
Now I mean it was fucking weird, but now it's
I think I went too far. Look, listener, just visit jockandnerd.com for links to everything we talk about. jockandnerd.com/168. Okay, guys, we got to start with the big DCEU Justice League news. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. It's crazy. It's sad. I'm just going to read this from the Hollywood Reporter. Headline: Zack Snyder steps down from Justice League to deal with family tragedy. Snyder tells the Hollywood Reporter he is stepping away from Justice League, Warner Brothers all-star DC Comics superhero mega movie that is in post-production, in order to deal with the sudden death of his daughter. Snyder's wife, Deborah Snyder, who is a producer on Justice League, also has taken a break to focus on the healing of their family. Stepping in to shepherd the movie through post and the shooting of some additional scenes will be Joss Whedon, the Avengers filmmaker and creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. With Whedon's help, the movie still is on track for its November 17th release date. Snyder's daughter, Autumn Snyder, died by suicide in March at age 20. Her death has been kept private, with only a small inner circle aware of what happened, even as the movie was put on a 2-week break for the Snyders to deal with the immediate effects of the tragedy. Zack Snyder says he was initially eager to return to the film, which stars Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller. Quote, in my mind, I thought it was a cathartic thing to go back to work, to just bury myself and see if that was the way through it, said an emotional Snyder in an interview Monday in his office on the Warner Brothers lot with Deborah sitting by his side. The demands of this job are pretty intense. It is all consuming. And in the last 2 months, I've come to the realization I've decided to take a step back from the movie to be with my family, be with my kids who really need me. They're all having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. The studio's fully behind the movie. What they are going through is unimaginable, and our hearts go out to them, says Warner Brothers Pictures president Toby Emmerich. One of the first things the studio floated was the possibility of pushing back the release date of the movie, but the Snyders decided against that. Warner's also extended Snyder's first look deal to give him a time to work on other planned projects when he returns to work. So Snyder, after seeing a rough cut of Justice League for fellow filmmakers and friends, wanted to add additional scenes, so he brought Whedon on board to write them. But as he prepared to shoot the scenes in England, Snyder realized it was not the time to leave home. The directing is minimal, and it has to adhere to the style and tone and the template that Zack set, says Emmerich. We're not introducing any new characters. It's the same characters and some new scenes. He's handing the baton to Joss. But of course, he has really been set by Zack. I still believe that despite this tragedy, we'll still end up with a great movie. So, first of all, wow. This is awful, horrible. My heart breaks for Zack Snyder. I mean, we bag on Snyder all the time, but he is a person with a family, and for him to have to live with this since March.
This is going to be a rough thing. It's like for him to even get past. This is like a child. It's a huge tragedy to have a child and lose the child, raise a child to be 20, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's suicide. It's just all these things. It's an amalgamation of all the worst things you could imagine as a parent.
Yeah.
So he's going to not be in the mood to try and make these decisions on this movie. His head's not going to be in the game. He did the right thing by stepping down.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not that I wasn't sympathetic towards Snyder, like, ever. You know, I used to like his movies and stuff like that. I just think that we were bagging on him a lot because he was doing things that we thought didn't make sense and he thought was fine. So, I don't know. It makes it feel bad a little bit for criticizing him so much and being so hard on him, but at the same time, this is separate from his movie making.
Yeah, I would say, like, I know people have felt bad recently, and I feel bad for him personally, and I feel like, you know, obviously he's going through a tragedy. I think you can criticize his work, but also still have sympathy for what he's going through. And you can separate the two. And
I think the tone of the criticism should be different, like at this point in time.
Right.
Like,
going forward, it should probably, there should be there's going to be a difference in terms of tone, hopefully.
Honestly, we bag on him, but really because he has a very specific point of view, that's great. At least he has a perspective. We just don't like the perspective. That's all. It's not like he's like a bad at making things look good.
There's no one that's rooting for him to step down because of a tragedy.
Not, you know, and that's the thing is like, it seems so horrible. It's like, this is what people wanted, but not like this. And I can relate him hiding it for 2 months and kind of burying himself in the work. Like when my dad died 21 years ago, I was in art school and I decided, I was like, I got to go back and finish art school. I kind of wanted to like hide from that. Looking back, that maybe was not the best decision, and what you said, Ruggs, is right. This is the right thing for him to do. And
even let's say he decided to stay with the film, that would have been the right. Like whatever, there is no right way to handle it.
No,
the way that he feels that he's going to handle it.
Yeah, it's like it's all up to him. If he feel like he can't really, his head's not in the game, and he feels like he can't really make the decisions. Like, how is he going to decide if like the shot of Batman's cool when he's thinking about his tragedy?
Yeah, he's not.
You know,
yeah.
But the thing is that I'm asking myself is like, let's say Justice League comes out and it's a piece of shit.
Now what happens? Yeah.
Are people going to be go easy on him and like give him a pass and like maybe criticize it, but not with the vitriol that we do with Batman versus Superman?
That is interesting. I mean, we're so late in production. You got to think that the majority of the movie was done and set into place before the tragedy.
Yeah, there are people who have been talking about like what Whedon's fingerprints are, and
we're not going to see that.
I don't think we'll even notice them, to be honest.
Like he said in the article, look, he's pretty much given him, just finish this for me. Here's what everything looks like. Here's the story. Whedon's writing a little bit. And then I heard rumors of like they were reshooting it to change it 3 times or something. But these are scheduled reshoots. And he's just it's still going to look like a Snyder. I don't think we're going to see any Joss Whedon influence, maybe in a little bit of the writing if he's getting to write some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the criticism, if this ends up sucking, I think you'll still get it, but I think it'll people will definitely kind of hold back a little bit because of this, and whether that's right or wrong, that's just the reality of the situation. Most people have hearts.
Yeah, I mean, we're not complete monsters, but Ruggs, what you said was interesting. I didn't think about how if this movie is really bad, like wow, it just sucks. It's like while you're excited to see Whedon directing Justice League, it just feels horrible to be excited for it.
There's nothing good about this.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
There's not even if people like us or anybody like vehemently hates Snyder.
Yeah,
there's nothing good about this situation.
Yeah. I hope they can, put this behind them and grieve and have time. And we'll see when this movie comes out. He's still got 6 months. But what's coming out before then for the DCEU, with a movie that has a shitload riding on it, of course, is Wonder Woman. We have some early reactions. So they've done the thing where they release the Wonder Woman for fans, and then there's no reviews, but they told us it's still under embargo, but they've told people they can tweet spoiler-free stuff. And wow, some amazing reviews comparing it to The Dark Knight, the best DCEU film to date. Here's the thing, though. Didn't they do this with all the movies? And so far, it has not been true. I don't know if I should trust these.
No, here I'll interject. I actually am pretty confident in this movie.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my friends are able to see early screenings of it, and a lot of the reviews that you heard for like Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad were studio showings. So they were showing it to people that were affiliated with the studio.
Okay.
We're out there and these reviews, it seems like they're showing it to fans. And like I said, I have a friend that's going to catch an early screening of it that's not affiliated with any fucking film. So when they release these to the fans that early, or when they let fans tweet like this, that usually means that they're very confident that they've got something good on their hands.
That's fantastic. That couldn't be better, because if these reactions are from true just fans, like you said, then wow, I'm super excited for this. They may have actually made a good movie, people.
Oh, shit.
DCU may have finally not made a shitty movie. Ruggs, what do you think? Do you trust these early reviews?
I mean, you always got to take these with a grain of salt, because it's kind of like they're kind of like doing these people a favor, giving them a preview. Sure. These fans, and the fans feel like they owe a little bit of a pass or niceness to the studio for doing that. So there is kind of a little bit of a grain of salt you got to put on this, but I'm hoping that it's good, because I've been waiting for a Wonder Woman movie for the longest time. I love the character so much, and when I heard that Joss Whedon was going to do it a long time ago, I was like, fucking yes, let's do this. And now we've had to wait all this time. It's been years since Joss Whedon had it in his hands, and he was going to use Colby Smulders.
Maria Hill, as Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And so now I'm just like, I like Gal Gadot. She's passed the test. She's successful. She seems like she's all up for it, and she's really into being Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this shit. Let's get this thing in the bag. Let's hit one out of the park for DC, or at least an infield home run.
There you go.
Sports
reference.
That's like a sports thing, isn't it? Okay.
I would also add in just reading on the internet, and even it kind of touched upon last week with having female Carrie Sims on the show.
Yeah.
And I've read articles where they're doing female only showings.
Oh wow.
Yeah. When they're letting just females buy tickets for a movie and catch an early showing. This is a big movie. Whether it ends up being, I hope it's good, because this is a big movie just in terms of women. This is the first. I mean, I know we've had Catwoman and Elektra, but Wonder Woman is the female character. Yeah. So hopefully they nail this, because a lot of people are really excited about it.
I mean, some of these tweets, they're comparing her to Christopher Reeve, Superman, and wow. And yeah, and I'm excited that the female audience can be part of this conversation.
They can finally hopefully be a part of the bigger conversation in terms of mainstream superhero movies.
I mean, shame on Marvel, and they're going to give us Captain Marvel, but nobody knows. Nobody cares who Captain Marvel
Wonder
is.
Woman was always going to be, though, the character.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that everyone's wanted.
Yeah.
Even her, the guys who created her, they have a really interesting story. His name is William Moulton Marston. He was like a psychologist, and he invented the lie detector. And then he was a little freaky. He was like a little into S&M a little bit. And he comes up with this character, in the 30s. So everything about Wonder Woman's always been super interesting. I'm very excited. That's good. And it's coming out next Friday or Thursday at 7.
I'm going to see it next Thursday.
Whoa.
Yahoo! And we will have a review as quick as we can because we're super excited. Okay, let's move on to something called Sony's Marvel Universe.
Oh shit!
What?
What is this? They're branding? They're starting to brand this as Sony's Marvel Universe. What does this consist of? You may ask. Good question. Well, news came out that they have cast Tom Hardy to play Venom.
Oh shit!
In the Venom movie, which is going to be directed by Ruben Fleischer, who has directed Zombieland and Gangster Squad. Anthony, comment.
I'm just very confused on what's going on. I don't understand if this is connected to the Marvel Universe.
Will not be a spin-off of the current Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Will not. Okay.
Will
so
not.
I don't understand how you do a Venom movie without doing the Spider-Man storyline.
That is a good question. Yes. While I think,
although Tom Hardy is, the Tom Hardy thing, at least the only thing that's like, whoa, is like, whoa, Tom Hardy like signed on.
Apparently he's a big fan.
Like, why?
I think he would do a great job as an Eddie Brock Venom, way better than Topher Grace. He looks the part, but how are you going to explain this, Ruggs? How are they going to do this?
Like, the whole point of this Venom thing is that Spider-Man gets the alien symbiote and brings it to Earth.
Yes.
And then it siphons his powers and the imprints on him. And so everything that spawns off of Venom, Carnage and all the other fucking symbiotes, they all have a link to Spider-Man.
It all starts with Spider-Man.
So to not have that link, I mean, yes, these alien symbiotes exist without being attached to Peter Parker, but then it wouldn't be Venom.
No.
It would be something completely different. It would be whatever. It would be like a Tom Hardy thing. Now, they could sit there and fuck with the origin and say that all these symbiotes act like spiders. Or maybe that the symbiote takes on like the person's obsession. So maybe he's going to be Eddie Brock. So maybe Eddie Brock's obsessed with Spider-Man. So then Venom enables him to be like Spider-Man. But they have to acknowledge Spider-Man. Right. If they're going to make it anywhere near, they have to acknowledge it in some way, Spider-Man. Whether he's an influence on the symbiote or whatever.
I kind of put Venom in like that same category as like Punisher, Deadpool, Wolverine, Carnage, where it was like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Let's bring up the anti-hero. Wow, we're super violent. Look how cool we are now. Look at the comics. Look at how cool and badass we are. And I don't know. Those a lot of those movies are very hit or miss, or a lot of those characters are
and the character has gone through different versions, and he's changed from being this scary dark symbiote to becoming a good guy and bonding with Flash Thompson, and then they're part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, these Agent Venom. Apparently it's gone back to Eddie Brock in the comics, but you're right, it's a very much a character of.
And you need him to bounce off of Spider-Man. I feel like
everything.
Spider-Man's the good boy, like the good teenage boy, and Venom's the fucking he's the bad version of Spider-Man.
So they have a release date of October 5th, 2018, and this gets better. And more in the news of Sony, what are you doing trying to start a Marvel universe based on supporting characters of another character that it's not connected to? The Silver Sable Black Cat Spider-Man film lands a title, director, and release date. Ruggs, you had an idea about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say Venom, Silver Sable, and Black Cat. They're all black and silver. They should just call it Silver and Black or Black and Silver.
Well, guess what, everybody?
Oh shit!
Sony Spider-Man spinoff is going to be called Silver and Black. Also scheduled to arrive in theaters October 2018. The same month they're going to release Venom, with The Secret Lives of Bees writer and director Gina Prince Bythewood. That's her actual name.
Yeah, I'm jumping in.
Yeah.
That makes no goddamn sense.
Right? What are they doing?
Well, both of these directors to these movies don't make sense. Because Zombieland is like a comedy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Venom's very serious and dark. And this is The Secret Life of Bees. and it doesn't seem like it's action.
So this director also directed the pilot for the Cloak and Dagger TV series on Freeform, and writing it is Thor Ragnarok scribe Chris Yost, he's a really good writer. Yeah,
he's a good writer. Yeah,
based on an earlier version by Lisa Joy. Again, you got Amy Pascal producing, but what the fuck? I'm not surprised that Sony's movie industry is hurting and they're about to stop. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. This makes absolutely no goddamn sense.
Malofsky was all like, yeah, I don't believe that these movies are actually happening.
Yeah,
he's still of the mindset that they're announcing these things so that a potential buyer is like, wow, we have franchises. We can buy this.
This is the conspiracy. And I think, I love believing conspiracies. It sounds like it could be true because this, like, whoever buys this is buying a mess. They have no plans for this probably, and they're just like, yeah, we're going to announce all this stuff. It's very strange.
I just don't understand why you would release two movies from the same studio in the same month.
The same month, both
that are both the same genre.
Both based on Spider-Man characters. Without Spider-Man,
you're literally just eating your film's profits. People are going to have to choose.
So this is all shady, man. The more you think about this whole thing's fishy. It may be a whole thing just to sell, because all they got going is like the Emoji Movie. Like, they have no properties. They got nothing right now.
No, I don't.
Who wants?
I don't know what Sony even has.
No.
I think we've gone over this.
The last that, like, they did Ghostbusters was their last like big thing, and that sucked too. Sausage Party. That's it. That's all they have. They haven't had anything in years. So, whew.
Well, you know that that's the thing about Sony. That's the thing about like anything that's not Marvel Studios at this point is maybe DC, but like Sony and Fox, especially, like they announce these films, and it's like, is there really even like passion behind this?
Yeah.
Or are you guys just doing this just to, like? And it's like the most see-through thing you could ever. It's just to make
DC. Warner Brothers is the worst at that. They're always every week like, oh, we're gonna make this movie Batman related. They were gonna make another one about this Batman character, and it's always
like, as much as flack as we give like Marvel for being owned by Disney. Like I definitely feel like Kevin Feige has a passion for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
and control. He seems to have enough creative control to not.
It's a weird relationship with Disney that like you're kind of rooting for a corporate giant now, but like I don't know, these other ones, like I just don't see like who's really behind these and is passionate about Venom or Silver Sable or Black Cat.
They're not. It's just the thing is that we're a bunch of guys sitting down, and we know as soon as we hear the announcement that this is not right. Right. We're like, okay, they're doing a Venom movie with no Spider-Man involved. We already know that that's not a good thing, but they don't care.
No.
Obviously, there is no passion for it. It's just they're trying to find an angle.
Mm-hmm. They're grasping for straws to make some money, and none of this is going to work. Like, remember when Sony was the fucking shit and everybody had Sony televisions and Sony Walkman? What happened to Sony? PlayStation, dude. They were ruling, but you can't stay on top forever.
That is weird. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Sony.
They were the fucking shit.
I thought of it like they were at one point for me, like when I was growing up, like Kleenex.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like when I thought Sony, I thought TV.
Yeah.
That's got to have a Sony TV.
Even before that, from the Walkman. I mean, they had fancy Sony stores you would walk into with all this fucking, and it was always like top of the line, and you were in a nice place that they had a Sony television because they could afford it. It's weird. Anyways, speaking of Spider-Man, let's talk about a movie Spider-Man is actually in, and that is the new Spider-Man Homecoming that's coming out July. It's July, right? So they just released the third trailer and a couple of posters, and I have issues with both of these things.
Oh, shit.
Ruggs, I think I know the answer to this question, but I have to know. Did you watch this new trailer?
No.
Okay.
Good. I would say good for both of you because it is a bit, it does show a lot.
Okay, so this is what happened. I saw it, and I was like, oh, I don't want to click this. I don't want to click it. Should I click it? And I clicked it. And then I was like, oh, I didn't want to see that. And I was like, no. 45 seconds. I turned it off.
Good.
And even that, I was upset. But this is literally giving me a panic attack because I'm like, I can watch new Spider-Man shit right now, but I know it's going to ruin the movie.
Well, let me tell you something. Yes. Don't watch the international third trailer.
Okay.
It's not one of those international trailers where they just edited it a little bit. It's a completely different trailer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like way different footage, so don't watch either.
You know what? And this is and I was wary already because the trailers they've already put out have been so plot heavy. So it's like this marketing is confusing. I really appreciated the Guardians trailers and even the Wonder Woman trailer. How we talked about, look, they gave us 3 trailers. It's more of the same, but it didn't get it.
They get there. Yeah,
they didn't give anything away, and I'm super psyched. Why do they feel the need to show so much of Spider-Man? Everybody fucking knows who Spider-Man is. That this is there's Avengers and Iron Man. Why are you showing us everything? I don't know.
My only theory is that they're doing it so that it's a very Tony heavy.
Yeah,
like they want the audience to know this is Marvel Studios doing this.
Yeah, I think everyone has figured it out by now. It just seems a little bit heavy-handed and just beat you over the head with it. Wow. Yeah. So that really affected me. Now this poster, though.
Oh my God!
Let's talk. Rugs, have you seen this poster? I put
it's heinous.
Listener, visit the show notes, jockandnerd.com.
I love that he said it's heinous.
Oh, shit.
So, jockanderd.com/168. I will have the poster in there. You can play around. Here's the thing. They've given us great posters already. The posters where he's lying down, the posters where he's hanging off the freeway sign. It doesn't even have the word Spider-Man on it. I love those posters. To go from that to this fucking every movie poster cliche, Photoshop bullshit, designed by committee piece of shit thing, I don't understand how this happens.
Well, there's no thought put into it. It's just like the mountain of people that they've done a million times.
They do it all the time.
But it's just even the shots that they used and none of the lighting matches on any of the faces. So they all like in different worlds. And then there's like random shit happening. There's Tony Stark got fire around him.
Yeah. So, look, let me just tell you, I'm going to read the names of the characters around this poster because it's weirder than just that. So here, the biggest person, Spider-Man character.
In suit,
Spider-Man. Then you have, just to his right, Tony Stark with fire around him. Then you have Peter Parker. Tom Holland, okay? Next to him, you have a little vulture in suit. Just directly underneath, you have the Shocker. And then going to the left, you have Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton, Zendaya, Iron Man in suit, and for some fucking reason, Marissa Tomei, Aunt May, and Happy Hogan.
Shit.
What the fuck? Why are there 3 people are on here twice?
And the Washington Monument.
The Washington Monument, the Avengers Tower.
To be there at all.
Oh,
yeah, you got the Washington Monument, and then you have the skyline of New York to its left.
But I've never seen them put 3 of the same people on here twice in a poster. Like, I can't think of another example of this.
If you know go see some Drew Struzan posters. He does it with Indiana Jones.
Yes.
But it's different. There's such a concentration on composition and storytelling and kind of creating levels of design. And this doesn't really, it has a hierarchy, but it's kind of random.
It is.
And
it's literally shots stolen from the trailer.
Yeah.
It's not even like posed stuff. It's shots stolen from the trailer at random times and like given to like a high school student to like work on Photoshop.
And you know, whoever designed this, there was a fucking 3 suits standing behind him going, make his head 30% bigger, make that 20% smaller, put that head over there, make it the biggest. Like, this is how this poster clearly was constructed. Because you're right, Ruggs. They didn't bother matching the lighting or anything. It makes no sense.
It's up there with the if you guys look up the Avengers Age of Ultron.
I was going to say this
might be worse, but it's up there with
it's
those.
Yep. That it's just, man, I think the Ultron was worse. I honestly think the Ultron
was really bad too.
I just think you don't need the repetition of characters being twice.
No.
And this Washington Monument is just unnecessary. The Aunt May, no one gives a fuck.
Why it's Jon Favreau? Why is Happy Hogan on this fucking thing?
If you took those 3 out, Washington Monument, Favreau,
you don't need the Shocker. You don't need the Shocker on there.
And the Shocker.
Yeah.
You can take him out too, because you can't even see his face.
No. You just see like a little blast.
Yeah.
If you click this link from Polygon, the internet have been having a ball modifying this poster, and there's one where they just added Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio and John Travolta from Pulp Fiction.
In the poster, like you're in the poster.
Donald Trump meeting the Arabs is down there, and Birdman. Yeah. It's pretty funny. It says Spider-Man blingy.
You should have like one area of it with a mirror so you could be in it.
Yeah, then like your face here, and then you just take it's like a Snapchat filter. Blech.
Lame.
Wow. I don't know what happened to this marketing.
I don't understand, like, Marvel Studios is like very attention to detail when it comes to their movies and like putting in references to other things, but they like give two shits about their fucking posters, or whatever department this is just does not care.
I mean,
well, there's a marketing. The way it works is that you have like there's a main team that does the marketing, but then there's literally marketing for every region. Like it's overseas and all is international. There's so many. There's a guy who designs the Indian posters, and there's a guy who designed the Filipino posters. So we don't know exactly where this is. If this is from the international department, or if it's from the home base, but it looks like it's a regular American poster.
Do you think any of this is Sony's meddling?
No, because Marvel's done this before.
That's true.
If it was Sony's meddling, we wouldn't have seen this, but we've seen the Mountain of Heads plenty of times.
Yeah. Blech. All right.
This is the time though that it looks like it's been not only been done poorly, but it just looks like they just slapped it together and like didn't give a fuck.
There's another poster where it's Spider-Man in the middle and you see the Vulture and Iron Man, and that one is great. That one's fine. It's nice and simple. I don't understand why they felt the need to do this and show me the whole movie in the goddamn trailers, you motherfuckers. All right, look, that's it for the news, believe it or not. That's all I got, people. Let's carry on.
Jock and
All right, so here's the deal. Anthony, you're going to have to set this up because last Sunday night, I find you. Oh, that's correct. You came to me and you're like, hey, so go ahead, set this up. How do we explain this?
So we have a mutual friend at work.
Wait, do we have to give spoilers for this?
No.
No?
It's already fucking happened.
Yeah, but like, do people record a pay-per-view?
No,
no, that's a stupid question.
Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Go ahead.
This isn't a pro wrestling podcast. Mutual friend from work had tickets to the WWE event called Backlash at an arena that me and Imran work at a lot.
Backlash.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? If it's free, I'm interested. I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. The last time I was at a show was like 6-7 years ago. I thought it was fun. Haven't been back since. Let's check it out. Then I'm like, well, Imran, let's get Imran in on this too. So we end up going and we become what they call seat fillers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get sued by this. The guy was making it seem like we could get into a lot of trouble.
They told us we were not supposed to tell people we were seat fillers.
We're going to tell people.
But I think people understand how these fucking things work.
Right. So basically in WWE, they have a camera facing one side of the arena, and they can never have a seat empty on that side of the arena.
Nobody goes to the washroom at any of these events. Yeah.
No one. So me, Imran, and like 30 other people that of varying ages and pro wrestling fandom seemed like they were all real big fans.
Yeah.
Of me and Imran.
Oh yeah.
Are basically assigned to a section off camera where we're sitting in pretty decent seats, but at any moment we could be called to fill some seats on the camera side, regardless of the situation. So if it's a family of 4 and 2 people go to the bathroom, me and Imran are going to sit in their fucking seats.
Yeah, until they come back. Yeah. Yep.
You know, we might get yelled at. We might get fucking harassed.
Yeah.
We had to deal with it and say we were WWE employees for the night.
And they give you free tickets. That's pretty much all you get.
And the pay for that is you get a free show. So luckily it was a sold out show.
Yeah,
so
there was nowhere to move. There
was nowhere to move. Yeah, we didn't have to ever move from our original seats, but we were there as employees of the WWE to make the crowd look more full than it really is.
It was hilarious because he gives this whole spiel, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And he's like, get ready. I have to move. I need you to sit in your home section. And then nothing happened. We just sit and enjoyed the whole show. It was great.
Yeah. We literally sat in the last row of the floor and just enjoyed the show. So
wow.
Ended up being actually pretty cool in terms of we didn't have to move other than grab beer and go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was fun. And look, for myself, when I was a kid, I was into the WWF, and when they had a Saturday morning cartoon, the World Wildlife Foundation, I was all about saving the pandas because I'm a trash panda in real life. So you got to save the pandas. No, but I remember my dad was into wrestling even before WWF was big. I remember watching some obscure like independent wrestling show on a weird channel in Chicago, and then that got big, and I got into the whole Hulk Hogan thing, and I was like maybe 7 or 8, and I grew out of it, as you do, and never thought about it later. I've never been to an event. So Anthony was like, you want to check this out? I was like, sure. The guy almost talked me into going Saturday and Sunday, and I'm glad I didn't do that.
No, good thing.
That would have been way
So let me give you my background.
Yeah.
I was a pro wrestling fan when I was a little kid also.
Yeah.
So I was a big Hulk Hogan guy.
Yeah.
And then obviously I moved on from that to like the Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, the Generation X era. And then after that, I was like, well, this is just fucking fake. So I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I've always had like pro wrestling in the periphery because it's one of those things where it was part of your childhood.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of crossover sometimes with WWE, like Brock Lesnar, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Crossed over. So I'm more familiar than Imran, which is amazing to me, with like pro wrestling terminology. And,
Finally.
yeah. And like what fans are looking for and like why they kind of appreciate pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So like Imran was next to me and he was like completely flabbergasted by things and I could like understand it a little bit more.
I mean, it's a jock and nerd thing. It is a comic book come to life. There's storylines, there's heroes, there's good guys, bad guys, cliffhangers. So, I mean, I get it. But so basically my whole experience when we got there, I was sober. I didn't have anything to drink yet. I sat there and we were watching the first couple of rounds and I'm like, and matches, whatever. We're watching the first couple of matches and it's clearly fake as shit and people are like cheering and digging it. And I'm looking around, I'm going, whoa, okay, these people are really into this. I mean,
Imran is literally out loud just disrespecting this. Going, how could people watch this? Those punches are so fake.
I can't believe they're going into it. So the matches go on. The show gets on. I get a slice of pizza. I get a big fucking giant beer for $45 or however much it was. And let me tell you, by the end of it, the last match, I was arms raised, cheering, going, yeah, the Indian guy won. Fuck yeah. I totally got, like, you have one beer, that's all you need. You loosen up and you kind of get into it. It was a lot of fun. There was like a 6-girl tag team event. It was like 3-on-3 tag team, all chicks. That was great.
The match with the guy in the mop wearing a mop and dressing up as a grandma was funny. There was there was some entertaining stuff.
I went to a wrestling match, a WWF one.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I think I might have been like 12 or 13, something like that. And it was like a birthday thing. So we all went, and I actually was into wrestling for a little bit when it was on TV because it was on TV and it was like something to watch. And I went to this fucking thing. You can see it was so fake. You had good seats. I never ever I was like, fuck this. I was like, because on TV they can shoot it so it looks like it's real.
Yeah.
But at the angle that I was at, you could completely see it was complete bullshit. Yeah. I'm like the floor is like a trampoline.
Yeah, it absorbs a lot of, and it also makes the sound. But they
mic that ring really well.
But then they throw the dudes out of the ring, and there's no padding there. They're throwing these dudes. They're bouncing off tables. That part, I was like, holy shit, you could really get hurt. So, look, a couple of observations I have. First time kind of watching wrestling after like 30 years. One, it hasn't fucking changed in 30 years, really. Like the drama of the sport, it's the same like fake 2-count kick out, grab the rope at the last second. They wrestle for 30 seconds and suddenly they're both like exhausted and can't get up, and the slow getting up thing and the drama. I was like, it really hasn't changed in terms of that. So that was fun. Other observation, what happened to the fun names? What happened to the bombastic, over-the-top characters? So if you guys, first of all, if you're listening and you're a wrestling fan, I'm going to offend you at some point. I apologize.
You've already offended them.
Okay, I should have apologized first. It's going to happen.
What these people are called that watch wrestling.
Smart marks. I know. They're smart marks.
Yes. Or smarks, yeah.
Smarks. So, like, for example, one match, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles, which to me sounds like a black comedian versus a fucking pop star. Like, what are these names? There's Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. Like, that's not exciting. There was a guy named Dolph Ziggler. I like that name. That was a great name.
He was wearing an American flag on his pants.
Oh, he was, and
he was fighting a Japanese guy.
He was fighting that,
and everyone was rooting
guy
for the Japanese.
Yes, the Japanese guy was wearing like Eddie Murphy's outfit from Delirious, like the Michael Jackson red leather fucking shit. It was great.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There's a dude named Sami Zayn, and he had his last name written in Arabic across his crotch. And of course, I read it, and then I felt weird. But
that's where I always read my Arabic.
That's where you got to put the Arabic in your last name. But the highlight,
I understand it better when it's crotch.
When it's crotch Arabic. That's the best kind of Arabic.
Absolutely.
The highlight for me had to be that last match which was
Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton.
Jinder Mahal, brown guy, like a guy wearing
Let's set this up for our non-pro wrestling fans.
Yes.
So Randy Orton is like, I guess, the good guy.
Boring name.
Boring name, yes. Jinder Mahal is this bad guy who's like dressed in with like Indian turban and like full suit. So he's like this Indian aristocrat kind of feel.
Yeah.
But he's like his whole basis of his character is like xenophobia. He's just like, you guys don't like me because I'm Indian. And like he's just playing it up that he's like not from here.
He's got these he has these
even though you had like a guy like next to us like, you're from Kenosha, Wisconsin, shut up.
That guy was hilarious. And he's got two douchebag sidekicks, like Indian dudes you would see in the club with like tight green shirts.
They're wearing like shirts that you would buy from like Express. So you got like this dynamic where it's like total xenophobia versus like white guy. But like from what we had heard, the Chicago crowds are like full of smart marks.
Yeah.
So they're like always cheering for the bad guy.
Yes. It's very interesting.
It's so like they'll flip flop on the match. Basically, what happens is this guy Jinder Mahal wins, who no one expected to win, and half the crowd is like, "Oh shit!" Chicago, and they're like, "Yeah!"
I was
cheering for the bad guy because that's apparently what Chicago does. The other half of the crowd is like legitimately like Donald Trump rally mad.
Dude, they were cutting to kids' faces that look like their dog died.
Did you see like those like white hicks like legitimately flicking him off and being like, yelling like "fuck you"?
Those guys are they probably beat up the next Indian person they saw on their way home because of Jinder Mahal.
They let the Terminator win.
The Terminator, dude. First of all, Jinder is
Terminator.
He's jacked. He looks like an Indian Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, this guy was like steroids to the kill.
Holy shit, is he
not
jacked?
An ounce of fat on this.
Oh, fuck, Jinder. And so Randy Orton, there's a meme out there that there's a part where he was outside of the ring and he was tossing his douchebag sidekicks around, and he legitimately bounces this dude off the table into the back wall, and he turns around and makes a face like, "Oh, I think I went too far. Like, I don't think I was supposed to do that. I think that dude got hurt." Oh, it was great.
I just got to make a comment on the crowd.
Yeah.
For the most part, I feel like it's like our listeners.
You think so?
Like, oh yeah, like there's got to be a ton of crossover between pro wrestling and comics because like I've never seen so many dudes that look like Kevin Heldon in my life.
Oh shit!
Like there's Jesse Looney. There's
yeah. Like, and it was just a lot of overweight dudes in shorts. What I feel like Kevin Heldon is.
It is a little bit comic book convention crowd.
But it was like comic book convention crowd, but it was like very diverse.
Yeah.
So it was like Hispanics and black people and.
So all kinds of fat people,
all kinds of like weird looking
men and women, boys and girls, families, like
and then,
you had
like,
everything.
Kids.
Yeah,
then you had like little kids that like,
and they were into it,
and then you have like adults that are getting like really upset about this stuff.
How many hot chicks are there though?
Not many.
The six tag team wrestling chicks were pretty hot.
Yeah, the hottest chicks were the ones performing.
Yeah,
it's a very heavy male crowd.
But I was surprised how many like women there were.
It's like comic book convention, except more aggressive.
Yes, and I have a feeling that listeners, like, I think you're right, Anthony. I think a lot of our listeners are wrestling fans, and they may get excited when they hear about this because I posted this in our Facebook group, to which Matt Delhauer responded, "We can finally talk wrestling. You have no idea how happy that makes me."
It's like so disappointing because he's such a smart guy. And I'm like, what?
And I was like,
Matt Delhauer?
I was like, yes, he loves this. And I was like, whoa, slow your roll. I went to one thing, but the Indian guy won. He writes back, "I know you, Imran. That's all it takes to throw you whole hog into this now." He is not wrong, but you know what? No, I think I've seen enough wrestling for a while.
I understand the appeal, though, for like people that are like, a lot of people that are really into, they know that it's fake.
Yeah.
So they're into it for like the storyline and like the
drama.
How do you even defend that? Because as Imran said, it hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed. No.
Nothing is different in the let's say you've seen like 10 episodes of wrestling, that's all you'll need to see. You'll see every situation that'll happen in 10 episodes and you never see it again.
Absolutely.
Well, they appreciate what they call work rate. So the like wrestlers that can perform in matches and like do athletic high flying moves and like can tell a story in the ring. So that's what a lot of like the big.
I mean,
a lot of them really enjoy. So there's this like weird cult. I did a lot of research. There's this like weird there's like weird, like WWE is like the mainstream.
Yeah.
Right. And like they like a lot of the guys that come to WWE that have been like working in the independent wrestling field. So like working on smaller shows, like not these like jacked muscle bound guys, but like the guys that Imran was like naming that are like super boring names. But they're like these guys that like worked their way up and like made it to the big show. And they're like a lot smaller than your typical like Jinder Mahal. Like they're like, you're not your 6'6" guy, but more like your 5'9" guy that's like 180 pounds. So a lot of like those people get a lot of attention from the wrestling.
It's like coming up in the minor leagues and shit.
Yeah, it's like the comic book analogy would be like your guy that from Image that all of a sudden made it to Marvel.
Okay. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Like the physicality of this is very impressive. The choreography, and these guys they're getting slammed. They're taking some hits. They're definitely going to get bruised.
Oh, they definitely get injured.
Yeah.
But the other point to it is like, I don't understand how you can watch guys in their fucking underwear doing soap opera.
Jinder was not wearing much. He had the real. No, it is. It's soap opera. It's the same soap opera like time stop. Oh, another observation. Apparently, a kick to the head sounds like when you slap your hand on your ass. That's the noise a kick to the head makes. That's what I love.
We heard that a lot.
Yeah.
That's happening.
I noticed it though. It's when they do their kick, you can see like their hands slap their ass.
Well, yeah, and they do they stomp down. They do the stomp down thing always, where like that's where the impact is, and it's not really on the guy. But there are some parts where they're flying back and forth real quick between the ropes, and the guy just grabs him and flips him over like all smooth. Like some of it is kind of impressive, but that's it. I just needed to see one thing. I'm good. I'm good for a while.
But it's like going to the circus. You go to the circus, and then that's it. You don't go to the circus every week.
No, to see what happens to the elephant survive this week. No, nobody cares.
Yeah, it's all fake. It's a performance, and you see it once. You don't need to see it again.
Fascinating,
I'll give them this. Production level is great.
Yes.
Whatever they're doing with their stages and entrances, like their entrances are quite immersive.
Yes.
With the music and like how loud it is and like how the whatever pyro that goes off when each person enters, and they all have their unique entrances. And I was like, that's kind of cool. That kind of reminds me of like a concert feel. And then they start punching each other face. And
that's just like, and then you just hear this. You hear this.
Yeah. and you just look in there and you're like, why are guys still wrestling in their underwear? Don't we have the UFC where people don't do this? Like fighting wouldn't be good in your underwear.
No. Or with long hair that people can grab and drag you around.
I don't understand the long hair on the wrestler. Why is that still a thing? I know that was a thing in the 80s because that was cool, but why are male pro wrestlers still growing out their hair?
It's like a cape. It's going to get caught on something. It's going to get in the way. It's really not functional.
Like more than half the wrestlers had long hair.
Yeah. But to your point, Anthony, look, I will say production value, unbelievable. And really, the lesson you can learn from all this is the way they have created their fandom and hype the audience and reward these fans. Like there's a lesson on how to keep your fans engaged. It's pretty cool how he's done this and how he's built to this thing.
We can only tap into
exactly. Yes, we just need a little bit of that juice.
We don't know how they do it. Something that should not even be on TV is still popular.
Do I got to put on some tight underwear and start punching
pushed
people?
Away a bunch of our fans.
So look,
they love it.
Wrestling.
Listen, that's what it's all about, man. You got to create controversy.
I hope I didn't offend all of our wrestling fans. I love you guys.
I just remember like you being like,
I was out loud saying
people
that.
like this?
Yes, I was like,
it's so fake.
I literally yelled, I can't believe people are buying this.
Then you started making Trump jokes after you started drinking.
I was like,
and there were more than a few Hispanic people around us that if they didn't hear the context of your Trump jokes, might have been quite offended.
I don't remember what I said, to be honest.
You were saying a lot of things.
I don't remember. I got a little giddy for a second.
And you have to factor in that there was probably Trump fans there because the reaction to fucking this Indian guy winning was like unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, everyone was shocked, but I was fucking
people were
cheering.
Either very happy or like legitimately upset.
Yeah,
it was like as if like this man just like bombed the place. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't like. Why are you flicking this guy off? You know it's fake.
Because you know these are the people that are in the audience that pronounce the word white with the H.
Oh, you mean white? I'm
yes.
white.
If you pronounce white like that,
Wheatins.
Like Donald Trump, and you watch wrestling.
White. Why you say it like that?
And you say wrestling.
A little bit of wrestling is what we experienced. Good show though. I'm glad I went.
Good experience.
Apparently there was like a crazy ladder match the night before. Whatever the fuck. I don't really care.
Whoa, how did the ladders fight? What do they do?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't have arms and they just like throw ladders against each other. That's not how it works, Rugs. Okay. Okay, guys.
And in this corner, the rope ladder.
The rope ladder versus the step ladder.
The step ladder.
Who'll win this time?
Whoa, Pete, they would cheer that too. I'm sure that's what they were cheering.
I would actually pay to watch.
Well, it was a pay-per-view.
Over here, we've got the ladder that's hooked to a fire truck.
Yes. the hook and ladder.
Backlash.
And now we've got the board game Shoots and Ladders.
Shoots and ladders from nowhere off the top ropes. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
What an upset, listener. Oh, boy. Okay, enough of this bullshit. We're going to take a break. I'll play some promos, and we'll be right back and continue.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
My name is Carrie Sims, and I host Sketching Comedy with my artist friends Imran Javed
Hey, that's me.
and Phil Rude each week live on YouTube. Hang out with us as I learn and discuss the legends of comic book art and comedians while the fellows are creating live drawings during the show. I learned Stan Lee defied the Comic Code Authority with an anti-drug comic.
That's right, Carrie. But did you know the Hulk wasn't supposed to be green? He was supposed to be gray. The printer screwed it up.
Visit BlazingCaribouStudio.com or tune in each week on our YouTube channel and download the podcast at iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever podcasts are found.
Catch you later.
Trivia Geeks, the Unpredictable Game Show podcast, is back with a brand new season. They've got a new host, new games, and a new day and time. But that's not all. Now you can download their companion app, Triv Now, and play along in real time. Watch Carrie on YouTube as she tries to convince her partner that his Dark Knight hasn't risen in years. Listen on Diamond Club and Alpha Geek Radio, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can also follow the show on Facebook and Twitter and get all the latest updates and showtimes.
It's not just any day. It's Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Hey, this is Jamie.
And this is Bill, and we are the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast.
Do you remember when the wheels were steel and the beats were real?
We do, and we talk about it every Thursday.
You can check out Woo News, One and Done, Record of the Week, and a whole lot more.
That's Mr. Throwback Thursday, keeping it classic on iTunes, Stitcher, and at highvoltageradio.com.
And always remember, new school stale, old school fresh.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Hey, listener, if you've been enjoying the show, if you've been listening to us for a while, if you still haven't turned it off after we offended all of the wrestling fans, you should consider joining our fan club on Patreon. It is a way to financially support the show, help the show going. With your monthly donation, you will get bonus content every week, every month. And guess what, guys? Very exciting. This week, 2 new patrons.
Oh, shit.
Not one, but 2. Count them. Super huge thanks to Miss Carrie Sims from the Blazing Caribou Studios. She was on last week. And as the show ended, she signed up and supports. She is now one of our patrons. Join the fan club. And also, thank you to Steve Morrison. New listener, or maybe he's not new. I don't know this guy's name, but Steve, nice to meet you. Thanks for your donation. Thanks for your support. They are joining such awesome people. Huge shout out to all these people. As David Zika. Check out Zika's Viral Comics on eBay. Jimmy McPike, Matthew Lawrence, Ron S. Hans, Adam Morris, Matt Delhauer, David Malofsky from A Place to Hang Your Cape, and Philip Milan. Thank all of you for your continued support. And Brett Zafka, who made a one-time donation, which, listener, if you don't like the recurring Patreon thing, we have a PayPal donate button. Hit it, send us whatever you want.
We want this list to be so long that it takes Imran 20 minutes to read it.
This whole show should be
and
me
he
thanking
robots
everyone.
throughout all of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we do it on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, we were making him robot.
Well, you're only hearing the robot. The listener will not hear the robot.
I meant to do that.
So, for example, if you sign up, this is what you would have experienced this week. We're going to give you our thoughts on Alien Covenant, but everyone I mentioned has already had a chance to enjoy both Anthony and myself's instant reactions to the movie, immediately walking out of the movie, what we thought, give you a couple of minutes, little bonus clip just for you. And mine, actually, I went on to talk about the Batman and Bill documentary on Hulu, Rugs.
Yeah.
You saw that, right? I saw that and I added that to the thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Highly recommended. If you haven't seen it, find a way to watch this. It's really good. And you walk away from this thing going, Bob Kane was a little bit of a piece of shit, wasn't he? Oh, boy.
Yeah. But I also... It restores your faith in humanity that at some point somebody will right that wrong.
It's amazing because what would have fixed this were just 3 words. Just the words, with Bill Finger. And it took 75 years for that to happen. Think about
Fuck
that.
her right in the pussy.
Fuck her right in the pussy. You know what? I caught one of those on live TV the other week here in Chicago.
I know, that's why I thought of it.
That was hilarious. But no, dude, 75 years to get 3 words at it because Bob Kane, in his contract, when he sold Batman, was like, it has to say, by Bob Kane only forever. And so, and there's some great twists in the movie. You learn a lot of things, and it's the journey of him trying to make right. Mark Tyler Nobleman, who did this, is really good. Check it out. Better than Alien Covenant, that's for sure.
Wow.
All right. Listener, you are going to hear our Alien Covenant review, but it's going to be sans the Rug Boy because he didn't watch the movie.
No, I couldn't get to it. I'm too sick.
It's okay, Ruggs. I want you to feel better. But
it's okay. Save yourself.
Don't worry, listener. Ruggs will be back and finish up the show with us.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
All right. We're going to give you our thoughts about the latest Alien entry into the Alien franchise, Alien Covenant. Of course, I gotta issue this.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This is the 6th movie, right, Anthony, in the main canon timeline?
It is the 6th. It is the 8th.
But I feel
featuring aliens, but a lot of the fans and I think this film it's as well.
They don't regard it.
Alien Predator part of canon.
But why?
Because if you've seen those movies, they're fucking ridiculous.
When did those movies take place, like timeline-wise? Do you know?
They take place like in modern time.
Oh.
Which really fucks with
what?
canon.
Like present before all this, which is before all of that.
Before
okay, that's fucked up. Okay, so I see why they don't count that. The movie currently holding a Rotten Tomatoes score 72%.
Very good.
Which is, I mean, it's
decent,
yeah, that is a decent score, and I was kind of surprised that it was that high, but we'll get into that. Box office wise, this is where it gets interesting. Budget of $97 million.
Not cheap,
but not huge. Kind of like mid.
No, this is still expensive. Yeah.
Okay, $97 million is on the high end. It's been in release 6 days. Opening weekend. It made $36 million.
Lame.
Domestic, yeah.
$36 million opening weekend. So as of May 24th, domestic, it's made 45. Worldwide, $131 million for a movie that has the word alien in it. I don't know.
It's not doing that great. Doing okay. It's not doing that great.
Rotten Tomatoes went down 1%, by the way. Update. Said 71 since I put these notes together. Cast and crew for this one real quick. As we mentioned, this is Ridley Scott returning to the franchise for a second time after, directing the first Alien.
Mm-hmm. This is his 3rd Alien go around.
What? Wait, 3rd? Yeah, 3rd. This is his 3rd Alien go around. Correct. Screenplay by John Logan, Dante Harper, starring Michael Fassbender as 2 androids, David / Walter, Catherine Watterson as Daniels, Billy Crudup as Oram, Danny McBride as Tennessee, Demian Bashir as Lope, and just a couple other people that I don't know, characters that you really don't get to know too well, so I'm not going to even read their names. At the bottom, though, it does say James Franco as Branson, uncredited. Guy Pearce is also in this as an old Peter Whalen, aged. And Noomi Rapace is listed in this cast, Dr. Elizabeth Shaw,
Jesus Christ.
It says uncredited. And then a guy named Javier Botet is actually playing the Xenomorph, and there's another guy playing the Xenomorph. Anyways, so let's do what we do with these reviews. Opening thoughts, what we like, what we didn't like. Anthony,
we'll keep this shorter.
Yeah, it's not going to take long.
It's not going to be an hour and a half.
And you'll see why, listener. Anthony, before you start, I just want you to, real quick, give me your Alien history.
So I'm an Alien fan.
Yes.
I've enjoyed a few of these movies. I remember when AVP was coming out, Alien vs. Predator. I was super psyched.
You're psyched for that one, huh? Okay.
I was psyched for that one. I love Alien. I love Predator. I've read books with Alien vs. Predator.
The comic books are great.
Comic books. I've read actual fucking books.
Wow, you got that deep. Interesting.
I'm into it. I'm into Alien. I'm into Alien. I'm into Predator.
You read the novelization.
I've read novelizations.
Okay.
So I quite enjoy these. They're not. I don't know what they're characters. They're just movie monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alien, great horror movie. Aliens, amazing sci-fi movie. And then we just go downhill from there. But coming into this, I'm coming off Prometheus. So this is like Alien Covenant is a sequel to Prometheus, but yet a prequel still to the main Alien.
Correct.
And coming into this, I was a little skeptical because Prometheus wasn't the best. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best. And coming in after seeing it, I did not like this movie. I feel the big thought coming through my head is Ridley Scott is old and he's lost touch with this franchise. It feels like he really wants to make a sci-fi movie that has nothing to do with Alien, but Fox is like, you're making a sci-fi movie, you're going to have to tie it back to Alien. And there's just like, this is the seventh, what is the sixth movie with Alien?
Yep. 6 in the canon. Yeah.
6th and 8th overall.
Yeah.
And they're just not making good Alien films. They need to stop. What are they doing? What about you?
Yeah, okay. So my Alien history is, I remember it had to be the late 80s. The Aliens, the second movie, I remember watching it in my parents' bedroom on TV. It was on TV for some reason, and it was also the extended cut of the movie. Have you seen the extended cut of Aliens?
Aliens? Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. So that was my first introduction. I must have been in my teens, and I shit you not, that night, I legit had nightmares about aliens. Like, this movie affected me so much. I watched the first movie. I started reading the comic books. It was, I was just all over this. And I like Alien 3, like the anticipation of that. You know, it was kind of a continuation. I didn't think it was horrible. So I've always loved the franchise. Prometheus to me was kind of confusing. I kind of got it, but I was like, whatever. So like you said, Anthony, 2 great Alien movies, and we're waiting for the next great Alien movies. And boy, this ain't it. We're still waiting. We haven't got it yet. Now, while I appreciated the look of it, it's Ridley Scott. It looks great. Some great acting. Ultimately, derivative, predictable, and disappointing. It's not a bad movie in terms of the structure and the way the movie's made, but you're right. It falls flat. It's lost. The franchise has lost its magic.
Yeah. I mean, the way I thought of this film, it's like, it wants to be a sequel to Prometheus. So it's like, hey, remember Prometheus?
Yeah.
But then it's also rejiggering that Alien feel of being a horror movie with this crew of people that are relatable. So it's like, oh, hey, remember Alien? And then it's also like, oh, hey, look at remember the action in Alien?
Yeah.
We're going to do that too. And then we're going to have the dread of Alien 3. And then we're going to have Michael Fassbender acting all weird, robot-y and playing 2 androids that kiss each other. So it's just this weird mismatch of everything. And none of it hits except the only thing I even liked was all I wanted to see was fucking David do work. That's all I wanted to see.
Okay, let's start with what we liked. This is one thing you liked.
What I liked was when it actually kind of called back to Prometheus, which was very, very small, because the reason I liked that was the end of Prometheus was I got no answers.
Right.
All I got was
all questions.
David, all I got was David being this maniacal creating android. So those scenes where he's creating shit.
Yeah.
Are kind of interesting because it's whoa, that's this android that doesn't have any feelings and just wants to fucking he's there's gods, which are the engineers, and then they create humans, and then humans create androids. And now what does an android create? Well, he creates monsters, right?
Yes.
Like, but they don't really touch upon that. So I liked that, and I liked like the scene with him killing the engineers. The only thing that sucked is like you had that not amazing, but you had that ending of Prometheus where it's like David and Noomi Rapace's character, Elizabeth Shaw, are going to go meet their makers and get questions.
Yep.
And then fucking kill her, like off screen. Like what? She's not, her body is in the movie. That's it.
Well, that's the other thing is
that's all I liked was Michael Fassbender doing Prometheus stuff. The aliens, the designs look cool. Like I kind of liked.
We got a couple of different versions. Yeah.
And then we got the xenomorph, which is the actual alien. So I liked the aliens when they were in it, and then I liked like how it looked. But that's about that. Other than that, that's all I really like. And Danny McBride actually not being a goofy son of a bitch in a dramatic film. Like,
and surprisingly, one of the only guys that actually makes it to the end of the movie is Danny McBride. Like everybody fucking dies. Somehow Danny McBride makes it to the fucking end of the movie. Yeah. Right. He was still alive, right? At the end?
Still alive, yeah.
I'll agree. This is what I liked was it looked great. It's shot well. It's lit well. Michael Fassbender really is the highlight. Him playing these two characters with distinct personalities, and you actually end up rooting for one Michael Fassbender over the other Michael Fassbender.
Let's set it up. There's David, who's from Prometheus.
Yes.
Who's this robot that's just insane, like a child, just insanely curious.
Early model of this robot,
right?
And is now self-aware. Yeah.
And then just hates humans because he thinks he's found something better. And then you have this other robot that he's playing, Walter, who's like has this like Southern accent sort of feel.
Yeah. They both had, one had an English accent, the other guy had an American accent. It was great.
Yeah, and he's like a caretaker alien or a caretaker android that literally is there for his crew no matter what.
He's like the robot butler. He's an advanced version of David, and they have removed his feelings because feelings get in the way of doing your job sometimes.
Right.
And these how these two differ, and he plays them really well, both of them.
Yeah, I agree.
I also liked, again, like you said, I like the continuation of the themes of like God and creation and man creating something that's now trying to create life itself, and they kind of explain like how the face huggers and the xenomorph we know came to be, sort of. So I like that bridge part of that.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to disagree. But
it was it's still kind of forced, and it kind of doesn't make sense. But ultimately, those are all my positives of this movie. Yeah.
Holy fuck! You're usually super positive.
No, that's all I could think of. My list of what we didn't like is long.
Here, you can go into it first.
Okay, right off the bat, hilarious use of James Franco.
What the fuck?
Why is he in this movie? He must have got cut. He gets burned up in a capsule, no line spoken, and then you see him in a fucking video on the girl's iPhone remembering him. And I was
what was the point?
Well, why is he in this movie? You couldn't even tell it was him. Now, I think there was another thing that must have got rewritten and cut because there's a 4-minute prologue of the group of them. Here's another thing you don't get at all, that this prologue, actually, you need to watch this, because watching this made me care a little bit more about the characters, because they don't set up any of these fucking characters that they kill. You don't care. They're all married couples. So there's a 4-minute prologue where they're just hanging out. They're arm wrestling. They're goofing off. James Franco's in it. You see Danny McBride, and you get their characters. Like, this is what the movie needed. It was, it tried to do a derivative thing like Aliens with the group and then killing them all. But in Aliens, you connected with all of those characters and you felt their sacrifice because they gave you character moments. There's none of that in this.
No. And what's weird about that is like you watch that prologue and I thought that'd be in the movie.
I thought it was in the trailer. There's parts of it in the trailer.
And it's not at all. And you literally, like Imran said, you don't care about any of these characters. No. You don't even know that they're couples.
No, they never. That's a huge thing.
Part. Yeah.
That is a huge thing that makes this mission. They're on a mission to transport these 20,000 people to start new life, and they're couples.
Let's go back and forth on this.
Okay.
Actually. So that's another thing. So attaching to that these are couples and we don't actually know this in the movie because unless you've watched the prologue, the fucking movie, other than like Danny McBride with Catherine Waterston, I don't even consider her character all that cool.
Daniels, who is like the lead antagonist,
supposed to be the lead,
yeah.
Like other than like her and then like kind of Orem, who's played by Michael Crudup, like none of
Billy
these
Crudup,
characters,
yeah.
Billy Crudup, sorry, none of these characters are anyone you root for or anyone you even know. Like they're all just fucking alien fodder, and it's like you totally and I don't understand. Like Ridley Scott, you when you made the original Alien, like every time one of those characters died, you felt something.
Yes,
you like related to all of them. They're basically these truck drivers in space. I don't get any of that in this film, and it's the same fucking guy.
It like jumps right in. There's no character moment. I mean, it opens with that weird scene of with Wayland and him when he first creates David and he plays the piano, and there's like it's dude, the tone is so weird because even with Prometheus and this, there are parts of it that are like really pretentious. Like they're talking about art and classical music and it's all highbrow and there's these themes of creation. But then he's like injects these gory, scary things, which is like it suffers from what somebody else said it and it's perfect. It's the reunion episode syndrome where you get, remember this, you put this in, it's all the same ingredients, but with little twists, but it falls flat. Like instead of the chest bursters, they come out of the back. All right, that's not really that scary. And it wasn't scary enough. It wasn't actiony enough. It all just fell flat.
It all just kind of happened.
Like, it just happens, yes.
Yeah, everything just happens.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's just gory, but it's not scary. It's not, there's no points where like the original Alien, I'm like fucking scared out of my mind watching that movie. And then this one, you're like, I'm not scared. And part of it too is, I think we're just not scared of the fucking alien anymore.
I was thinking that today. I was like, the fact that now it's a full reveal, it's a full CGI, you see this thing in daylight, brightly lit, it's lost its appeal and its scariness. Like the best thing about the first movie is that fucking alien is in the shadows. Even the second movie, they did a good job with just quick shots, even when there was a swarm of them. You saw it fly by the camera.
And part of this too is like, I remember like thinking to myself as an Alien fan, like I kind of am curious about this prequel stuff. Like, where did these aliens come from? Who is the fucking space jockey, which is basically the dead guy in Alien, the dead alien in Alien that now all these movies have basically inspired by. But as we learn about the origin of the alien, like it's kind of cool, like that David is the guy basically making these aliens. But as we learn about it, I'm like, I actually don't like learning about,
you know what,
where this alien came
I'm
from.
so over it. It's overly complicated for no reason, and I agree. Like the space jockey thing initially was kind of interesting, but he is like, they've just fucking crumpled it up on itself and folded
He's stripping
it up
all the mystery from it.
Yeah. So I have so many more things. The homoerotic relationship and were they intentional funny lines?
I liked it.
Where there's one point where David is teaching Walter how to play a flute and he's like, okay, you blow into this, I'll do the fingering.
Oh shit.
To which everyone starts laughing. And I was like, really? Did you just say I'll do the fingering? And people were laughing at parts that I didn't think we were supposed to be laughing at.
Well, I think so. The original Alien created by H.R. Geiger is supposed to be like this phallic symbol.
Oh, yeah.
And if you watch Alien, there is a lot of like implied analogies to rape and like birth and like being violated. So it is supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. The alien itself is supposed to make you feel uncomfortable.
But are the robots supposed to make you feel uncomfortable?
Well, I think that's what Ridley, again, I think this is why I think Ridley's lost his touch is he wants to make you feel uncomfortable, but instead he throws in this homoerotic scene with the robots.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It has nothing to do with the overall themes of the film. Like the overall theme of Alien was like violation, rape, birth, life, all that stuff. Whereas the overall theme of Alien Covenant has nothing to do with homoeroticism. And I don't know why that scene happens.
No, and like he shoved in a little thing and then doesn't touch on it, and then that's it. He just lets it go. The other thing that didn't make sense at the end of Prometheus, David and Shaw are going to find answers from the engineers, and then you find out at the end of this movie that David came and killed all the engineers.
Right.
Which I don't understand why he would kill them when he wanted answers. And also, all the engineers just lived in that one spot on the planet. That's it. There's nobody. There's nobody
that
else.
Doesn't make sense either.
No.
It's supposed to be this high level race that like, created us, and yet they all gathered in one spot to die.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That was weird too. Let me throw in also going back to the point about the aliens and like finding out their origin, like what made the original Alien so scary, besides the awesome direction, was the fact that it's in the title. It's alien.
Yeah.
It's a fucking thing that we have no idea its fucking motive. We don't know where the fuck it came from. It's just this alien.
It's a killing machine.
That's a killing machine.
Yeah.
That's the perfect killing machine.
Yeah.
And now we're finding out that it's not this fucking perfect killing machine that exists somewhere in the depth of space. Because remember, context is everything. When the first Alien came out, this was when everyone was into Star Trek and Star Wars. Everyone thought space was awesome.
Right.
This amazing place, this wondrous place.
Yes.
And then Alien comes out, made by fucking H.R. Geiger and directed by Ridley Scott, and he turns it on its head and makes Alien this dark place. This
He made
terrible
space
place.
scary.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we're finding out that it's not this random act of violence that happened to this crew. It's
this
the creation
overly
of an android.
Yeah, this overly complicated creation of an android who's toying with genetics, who wants to create a weaponized thing out of black goo, but he doesn't know. Oh my God, I'm already confused. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, you've lost me. So there was another thought I had, which kind of the Alien formula. And, you know, Ridley Scott wanted to make this, and he said this is a new direction for Alien. And I was like, I don't understand what you mean by that. But something suddenly made sense. If you think about, every Alien movie is this. There's a crew in space. They get a distress call. They go to visit. Alien kills everyone. There's a corporate type person who wants to weaponize, make money off it, shove Alien out of the airlock at the end of the movie. Movie's over. That's pretty much every Alien movie with minor twists, except for Prometheus. You know, he didn't do that.
Well, what happened was, I'll address this. Prometheus, I think what happened is he honestly wanted to make a weird film about gods and creators and man and all this stuff. But everyone was so like into, well, what the fuck? Where's the alien? This is supposed to be an Alien prequel. So like that, it totally derailed what he wanted to do. That they were like, well, you got to shove aliens into this. And
yeah.
that's what
So
happened.
yeah, and you see.
So then he had to make an Alien film, which I don't think he actually wants to do. I don't think he gives a fuck about the alien part of it. He really wants to play around with David and the engineers and like creation.
I mean, this is, again, it's like Jurassic World. It's like Star Wars. He made a shittier version of Alien and put David's creation bits around it. And that's what he gave us. So here's the other thing, timeline-wise, that doesn't make sense. So I guess he wants to do 2 more?
I heard 1 more, but I wouldn't be surprised.
What the fuck? So my question is, like, the Queen Alien, where does she fit into all this? How are we going to get to her?
So here's the funny thing about the Queen Alien. The Queen Alien's not a Ridley Scott creation.
That's a James Cameron thing.
That's a James Cameron thing. James Cameron is the one that evolved the alien from this destructive creature to this like hive mentality. So if you watch the original Alien, there's some deleted scenes, but the original Alien was actually a human underneath the alien. So like if you zoom in on the alien's face, you can see a human skull underneath it.
Oh.
And what he wanted was the alien there was no queen. There's a cut scene where Dallas's character, the captain on the ship.
Yeah.
There's a scene that was later cut from the film, but you can still see it online, where the alien takes Dallas and he's being basically turned into an alien egg.
Wait,
so the life cycle.
Whoa.
So the life cycle is an alien grabs you, turns you into an egg. You become, your body, your whole being becomes the face hugger.
Births the face hugger.
Births the face hugger, yes.
So Cameron kind of changed it with the putting.
Made it more of an insect thing.
Yeah.
But it is a quite disturbing scene where like Ripley walks in and like this guy, Dallas, who's the captain of the ship, is like begging to be killed because half of his body's already been made into an egg.
Oh, Jesus. That is that's like the body horror shit. I like that. That's fucking.
So that's why when you like think about the Queen and where this all fits,
I
don't think Ridley Scott gives a fuck about the Queen because that's not his creation.
I mean, when he did those, he was like in his 40s. He's in his 80s now. The Martian, which he did recently, it's not bad, but I don't know how much you blame on him being old. And then my other question, when Alien starts, there's the Nostromo, and they find there's going to be another crashed engineer ship with eggs in it. Like
it really is muddy.
How are they going to get to that? So at the end of the movie, you see Dave. Oh, we didn't even talk about the stupid twist. The most predictable thing that it's the whole third act of the movie where you're supposed to think that Walter is David or David is Walter. I'm confusing myself. You're supposed to think it's Walter, but then we're waiting for the reveal. It's David, but the audience knows that it's clearly David because Walter was able to heal himself. He was an advanced robot. This fucking robot's got a scar in his face. Like nobody's questioning why that hasn't healed.
I think at this point they were kind of the audience knew that it was David. I don't think he was trying to make it a twist.
Oh.
That's what, at least my theory.
I don't think he knew how to.
Fucking obvious.
I don't think he knew how to end the movie.
Well, there's also the fact that this movie has like 2 climactic endings.
Yes,
it has the part where the alien gets crushed in the
out the space airlock, just like the fucking aliens. Yeah,
yeah, and then there's another alien that ends up on the ship where they kind of recreate the feel of Alien.
Yeah,
and then they have to burst out like that. Would like even suck because like Alien films, they've always had like this feel where it ends, but then there's always
it keeps going.
Twist.
Yeah, but
keeps going.
But
this
failed.
One, like,
it didn't do
this
it.
This one failed. Yeah, and I gotta throw in too.
Yeah,
the like Halloween / Friday the 13th shower scene where the people die because they're
stupid. Yes,
it was so bad.
It meant it like you don't care about these people, and it's
like why
so
are you
cheesy.
throwing in like this like teen like the 80s feel of like you're gonna have sex and be naked, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
like that's always. I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing here?
I mean, so James Cameron Aliens is the best example of that, where you think it's over and then it keeps going, and you think it's over, and it's done so well in that
even
movie.
Alien did that.
Yes,
where Ripley gets on the ship.
Yes,
and you're like, oh fuck, she's good, and then the alien hand pops out, and she's like, oh shit, the alien got on the ship with me.
Yeah.
But this one did it too, but it was like.
It just it felt there's no like passion, there's no soul, like it's flat. I didn't mind that first action scene where they're on the little flying platform and she's swinging around on the rope fighting that alien. That awesome. I thought was cool, and I was like, all right, is this the last action scene? And then they do this whole fucking derivative, push them out of the airlock with the crane, combining alien and aliens, and I'm like, okay, this meant nothing to me. And then they do the whole thing where it's actually David, and she figures it out as she's being fucking put to sleep, and he vomits up alien embryos to put in his little thing with the people.
Now he's got a whole world to play with,
and all these people that he can use. So where is he going? What is going on?
Going to Oregon.
I don't think you think he's still going there.
Oh yeah, he's gonna create a whole fucking world.
So that means there's at least 2 more movies that we're gonna have to sit through to get to fucking Alien. And here's my other question. This whole thing was always about women empowerment. It was always about Ripley, the chick that everyone underestimates, badass, ends up saving the day. Mm-hmm. This Daniels was just a weak character. You don't get that in this. And he doesn't even...
She is literally a Ripley knockoff.
Yeah, but nowhere near as charismatic or powerful. And I don't think he cares anymore. He really did he wants to tell this other story, but... Wow, I don't know. It's a little bit of a mess.
It was. I don't understand how it got that good of reviews. This movie to me is a mess.
Yeah, so honestly, look, 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I read some of the fresh ones, and I was like, did you watch the same fucking movie? Like, they're polishing a turd with some of these things they're trying to say this movie is about. It's not about any of these deep themes that it wants to be about. It comes off pretentious and just derivative and it's just done, man. I'm telling you, the Alien series is done.
They need something else. If they want to continue this, they got to do. I don't know about this prequel stuff. Like me personally, I would like to see more of David, but I don't think there's enough. Like, what else can you do?
I don't know.
We've already seen aliens burst out of people's chests. We've seen them now burst out of backs. We've seen them burst out of mouths. We've seen different versions of alien. Like, I don't know what else you can do with the creature that doesn't, unless the fucking alien starts to talk. I don't know what else you're gonna do.
Don't do that. I mean,
here's the thing. As a big fan of Alien, like, so the whole bit with what they call the neomorph, which is the white alien in this, is that the neomorph is like smoother and like supposed to be a lot more primal.
Yeah.
And you can see like it just fucking attacks everything. but the alien itself is like a lot more mechanical looking, which you saw.
Yeah.
But it's smarter. Like in the original Alien, it didn't just run at something and just start fucking attacking. It was cunning.
It would
was
trap
smart.
you. Yeah, it would trap you.
Yeah. These aliens in this film aren't fucking smart.
No,
they're just running after. They're just killing machines.
Yeah, they're mindless.
Like the only bit that we got that the alien was even smart was when it knocks out the camera. But other than that,
yeah, that was it. You're right.
That was it. It literally was just like attack.
Maybe it fucking evolves. You know what? I honestly thought they were onto something when they were going to do Alien versus Predator. I was like, maybe this is
I was
it.
so into it.
This is the way to bring it to the next level, because this is what it's a crossover. It's a shared universe. This is what we want to see. We had the alien. Let's show them fighting other things. And
but at that time, when you do the crossover like that, it's similar to Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah,
it literally means you've run out of ideas.
Yeah,
and you're going full camp.
Yeah, I kind of like those movies though.
I liked them. I liked them because I'm a huge Alien.
Yeah. It was just cool to see him in like that kind of context and the race of predators and how the two aliens regard each other and what their roles are.
Well, it was teased. The reason why it was also very hyped was it was teased in Predator 2, which came out in the 90s. There's a scene at the end where the Predator has Danny Glover in his ship.
Yeah.
And you see all the skulls of all the different creatures that the Predators hunted, and you see an alien skull. So everyone's like, oh, shit.
Oh, in Predator, they did this.
They did it in Predator 2.
In 2. See?
It's similar to like Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Where Jason's mask gets pulled underneath the ground by Freddy's claw at one at the end of the movies. And you're like, whoa, these are part of the same universe.
They could have done something with that. They could have had something.
They made 2 bad movies.
No, I know, not that. No, they
Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Yeah.
Here's my daily or Showly Batman v Superman. Disc.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman nominated for Razzies.
Yeah.
Alien versus Predator Requiem also nominated for Razzies.
Wow, I don't.
It was real bad.
It was that bad. I don't even remember that. Maybe
I own it on fucking DVD.
Maybe should we? What the fuck happened that one?
No. Everyone knows what the fuck happened. It's just combining 2 B characters.
Yeah, cash grab.
So bad. Well, Alien versus Predator is bad. Alien v Predator Requiem is awful. But it's entertaining just when the aliens are there in the Predator.
This movie was originally supposed to be called Alien Paradise Lost.
Yeah, because I think he did want to explore the engineer world, and Fox was like, no.
So they just killed them all.
People didn't like Prometheus, man. You really got to get the alien in this.
I mean, I got to kind of hand it to Ridley now that I think about it, to do what he did with Prometheus by taking that big of a risk. But the studio, I guess, won ultimately.
Couple last thoughts.
Yeah,
from
final thoughts.
The thing with like Prometheus is like it had all these big ideas, and then you literally got no answers. And then also with Alien Covenant, you were like, okay, we're gonna find out how the alien was made, but I was like, I still don't really understand how he made the alien. And the big thing with both films, like a lot of people complained about the stupidity of the people in Prometheus, like the fucking environmentalist dies because he fucking takes off his helmet.
Yes.
But like you get this film where it's like it's these people like Orem's character was it Michael Crudup?
Billy Crudup. Sorry, I keep calling him Michael. You keep calling him Michael.
I don't know why, but like he gets desperate and he's like, let's just go to this planet and be a colony. With no prior research on it, like nothing else. So they're going to this planet that they have no idea about. They all walk off the ship not wearing helmets.
This movie is full of characters making a lot of dumb choices.
Like, why are I don't understand. Like the original Alien, everyone the guy gets infected, but he's still wearing a helmet. It's because the face hugger burns through his fucking astronaut helmet and goes into his fucking helmet.
Yeah.
Like the people were smarter, and there's like protocol and all that. Here, like, why would you go to another planet that you've never been to and immediately not wear any fucking helmets?
How are the black spores supposed to get into their ears then?
Right. But you could have thought of it in like you could have like made it where like they're wearing their helmets and like the black spores are like have a mind of their own and they figure out a way
to sneak in and go.
Yeah. Sneak in. Yeah. But you just have people acting stupid on purpose just to move the plot.
Yeah. No, there's tons of dumb choices. So
like, literally the guy that gets infected first, literally, I'm going to go take a whiz.
Yeah, he kicks a fucking thing and the spores go into his ear. They killed everybody. But so are we to believe that? So the story is David caused these spores on this planet because he's been testing with shit, and he set a trap to get some human people to actually birth this thing.
Yeah, what I gathered was he found insects that birth inside of other insects, and he experimented with the black goo on them, which created these spores. And then he also was there for 10 years and getting bored and was sending out a signal so that if any humans came by, he would be able to have some fun again.
And that's all you see a hologram Elizabeth Shaw all crackly, and then like a drawing or a photo of her cut open because she birthed the thing, or he was testing on her. I don't even know. I like some of the drawings on the wall in his little abode, because you saw a lot of H.R. Geiger artwork.
Oh, he's quite creepy.
He's very creepy, and he's drawing the face huggers and like. So I mean, again, the art direction pretty cool. The way, but it's just done. The franchise is
done. It's done.
Yeah,
I don't know why they like Movie Bob, who I'm a big fan of.
Yes, what did he have to say?
He was literally like, "There's been 8 of these movies.
They all suck except for 2.
You've only made 2 good ones.
Yes.
Like, I think it's done.
Why?
I think we're done here.
Yeah, why are you still making these?
I think we're done. What are we doing?
What are we doing? It's right. We've seen the alien. You showed us everything. It's not scary enough. Let's move on. Fucking come up with something else. I don't know. So is David the space jockey? No, we don't know. There's.
I don't think so.
Oh,
but anything's.
One last question. At the end of Prometheus, that fucking thing burst out of the engineer. Remember? Yeah. What was that? What happened to that guy?
So that guy on the internet's called the Deacon.
Yeah.
And I guess he is supposed to be like the very, 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 very like pre version of an alien. But like he's kind of like I think what Ridley Scott was getting at with that is that like this is the first step of the eventual evolution to an alien.
But that was like a cliffhanger, so you're expecting a little bit of answers in the next movie.
That was his. Yeah, this is still an alien film. That's at least that's what I gathered. Because that giant thing that takes over the engineer, is almost like a giant face hugger.
Yeah,
it's all tentacled and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's fucking confusing.
He's really. I think he's just gone off the deep end.
But at least
the whole thing is weird and makes no sense.
Yeah, no, yeah, it doesn't. The end made no sense, and. I mean,
if you take them like as a 1 and 2, you're literally like, what? I still don't know what.
I somewhat enjoyed the first act of the movie, but then the rest of it, no.
I didn't like it.
No,
it doesn't make me angry. It just is like,
it's kind of, it's sad, if more than anything.
Yeah, it's just like sad that they're still making these movies, and what the most mind-boggling thing is that it's the guy that created this franchise that is now.
Yeah,
I read that it's a lot of people online, it's not the same like magnitude, but a lot of people are comparing it to like Lucas's Star Wars prequels, where he got back into it and like started making bad films.
That's a good analogy. No, that's a pretty good analogy. It's almost like, sometimes I wonder if these guys are trying to reclaim their youth, if they think it's going to be the same thing and they can just regurgitate this shit and people.
I don't think they like both are like they're like trying to create something new, but also within the confines of a prequel.
Yeah.
Also within the confines of like paying service to what came before it. And I just don't think
it's too much to serve.
To do it. Yeah, they don't. They're just not. They're so ambitious that they're like they don't have any focus.
Yep. Disappointing. All right, good stuff. We're gonna take a little. You can hear a little music, and we'll be right back with the end of the show. And Rugboy will be back.
Jock and Nerd.
Okay, to wrap up the show here, listener, I have some feedback for you. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. I got
You're inspired by Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal.
I was going to say that.
But Jinder spoke perfect English. The Turbinator, he didn't speak broken English, which I appreciated that. At least he didn't like force like a stupid accent.
That's even worse.
Speaking of Indian people, the Aziz Ansari second season,
Masters of None.
Masters of None is great.
I have to finish the first season and catch the second season. I've heard some reviews and some positive things. I love the Aziz Ansari. There's a lot of brown guys out there doing good, man. You got Hassan Minhaj, you got Aziz Ansari, you got Dev Patel, and you got myself, who's brown on the inside.
You got Jinder Mahal.
Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Stevens is not a Packy.
Oh, he's not?
No. But he did speak Urdu very well. Okay, look, we got an email here from our buddy, Jimmy the Geek. Jimmy Graben, formerly of the Newsroom, Northern California, who has a recent daddy to a little boy named Seth. I love how I know all this stuff about Jimmy. It's really cool. He says, "Hey, fellas, how's it going? Thanks for another stellar movie review. Saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at the IMAX and had similar thoughts with you guys. Another great addition to the MCU." Okay, so that last edition of What the Fuck Happened was absolute gold. You guys literally had me laughing out loud in my car on the way to work. Del Howard's narration, along with Imran and Anthony's quick little drop-ins, were hilarious. Mainly Imran's exasperated, "oh my God," when he recalled how bad a scene was, and Anthony's recollection of how he reacted when he first saw it in the movie theater added great color to Del Howard's awesome recap. You guys even made a reference back to Batman and Robin. Way to bring things full circle. Also, I checked out your guys' cameo on the See Here's the Thing podcast. Anthony, I was impressed with your sports knowledge, buddy. So here's a trivia question for you. Anthony, you ready? You can't Google this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you this.
Round 1.
Okay. Who led Major League Baseball in hits in the 1990s? So 1990 through 1999. And here's a hint. You likely rooted for him in your childhood.
I will not lie.
Okay.
I caught a quick glimpse of this question
crap.
prior to you asking me this.
Yeah.
So I thought about it, and I was like, it's either like Tony Gwynn or Cal Ripken Jr., but then he said I likely rooted for him in my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys I didn't root for. So the only guy I can think of that was hitting a lot was on the Cubs, and his name was Mark Grace.
I am impressed, sir. That is absolutely correct. I took the answer. He gave me the answer, and I took it out.
Oh, you knew it?
I put it at the bottom. If you highlight, it's in white. So he says, if at the very bottom of the show notes, highlight the last line. He writes, "Not sure if Anthony reads the email, so I may spoil the answer here, but the answer is former Chicago Cubs first baseman Mark Grace." Very good.
Yeah, got a lot of hits.
You did it, Anthony.
Well done. And he finishes, "Anyways, you guys are awesome. Love listening every week. And hopefully we will get an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finale review and maybe a Gotham review after its season finale airs. Wishful thinking. Take care, fellas. And I miss Rug Boy, Jimmy the Geek." Aw. Rugs, you're sick, but what I kind of wanted to do with you is I kind of want to recap the shows. I need to talk about
you guys,
this with somebody.
So what you guys will do, and this can be in the show, is you guys can do that review, and I will just sit that one out because I haven't watched it, and I won't be able to watch it.
Okay, but I kind of want to talk about Flash and Arrow and Supergirl and Gotham and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You guys can do it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'll just sit that one out.
Okay. Rugs, you feel up for that at some point?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
good.
feels better.
Look, we got a request, and we will do it. Jimmy, you will get it. If not, you can comment.
We could probably do it like in a couple days or something.
Okay. Sounds good. There you go.
It can be one of those where I just magically disappear.
All right. Done and done. I'm excited because there's a lot of crazy. All the shows ended, and there's some crazy shit going on. Okay.
What you guys should do is rank them.
Okay. That's good. You always got to have the ranking. This is why we need the Jock, because you got to rank things. Okay.
You don't need me for that because I didn't watch any of them.
Right. And then you can eventually listen to it when you watch all of them, which will be never.
Oh, shit.
We got a tweet from that guy, Daryl, who writes, "The Gifted trailer gave me a huge Heroes smell. Was not impressed."
Lame.
You know what? I never got into Heroes because it was like, who are these fucking characters? At least these are like X-Men mutants. So whatever.
I never got into Heroes either. What about you, Ruggs?
I watched Heroes, and it had a very multicultural cast, and it was one of those things that everybody's screaming about. But we need this stuff that be multicultural and have diversity, and that was a very diverse cast. There was an Asian lead, an Indian guy, Dupinder or whatever his name was.
Jinder Mahal. No, that's somebody else. Sorry.
And all of these different female characters that were very strong. Save the Cheerleader.
Save the Cheerleader. I remember that. Yeah.
So gave us Hayden Panettiere. Mm-hmm. So it was good for the first season, and then it kind of started turning into shit.
Does The Gifted look better than that to you?
Way better. Way better.
Okay.
One quick thought on Heroes.
Yeah.
It had to have a pretty big impact because I remember being in college when it was out, and my friends at the time when Heroes was on, they'd be like, everyone would get together and they'd watch it. They'd be like, "Oh, Heroes is on."
Yeah, it was like a big event. Yeah,
it was event viewing for a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah, but like nobody talks about it now. It's like there's this weird stench on it now. That they can't. They tried to bring it back and then they failed miserably. And
It seems like now everybody thinks it sucks for some reason. Like these things.
Well, it's one of those
always
things.
suck.
This is before the CW had all these superhero shows.
Right. Yep.
And it was now there's no place for it now because now they have actual shit that has canon.
Name recognition heroes. Yeah, that was my thing. I was like, yeah, this is nice. I like that it's superhero people, but like who are these people? I just.
And they never embraced the superhero costumes really and anything like that.
It was kind of in that weird time before the costume burst coming back and it being cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there was Smallville on TV, I think. That was the only thing that was.
Yeah. That guy Daryl also tweets, my tweets have been read on this show so much, I almost feel like a guest host. And you know what? All you guys are guest hosts when you write in. You're all you're producers. You're contributing to the show. This is why we want. So that guy Daryl, yeah, you're a guest host. You're an honorary guest host. Now sign up to the Patreon and give us your money. But finally, from Adam Morris, we got a little superhero side segment. Apparently, we're getting closer to an Iron Man, people.
Geek boner shit.
He sends this article. He says, closer to a personal versus dangerous Iron Man suit. Also, still sure the Army has others. Basically, this inventor... British inventor Richard Browning, who works for the Gravity Industries, was testing out his futuristic creation at a farm in Wiltshire. The suit, which took 15 months to create, weighs a whopping 45 kilograms, which I think is around 100 pounds, and is powered by no less than 6 engines, including 2 on each arm, allowing the wearer to control the direction of flight. And in this video, this guy... It looks like a suit from a CW show, first of all, with the giant engines, and he just like lifts off the air and turns... and propels himself like a clunky Iron Man. Speaking to Sky News presenter Gemma Morris, Mr. Browning explained, if you blow air down fast enough in a spread around pattern, you can generate enough lift to offset your weight. Then you're up off the ground and the balance and control is all down to your brain's ability to hold balance. Adam Morris also added, fuel is an issue with this one. 50 liters of jet fuel will get you a 10-minute flight, not going far, but hovering around like Iron Man for 10 minutes would be pretty awesome. Anyway, I can't wait till this is in Target. Because, look, Target sells fucking drones now for like $100. One of the days they'll have these suits for consumer level.
I can't go pick up my jetpack.
Yeah, I got.
That's a great line. That's gold.
So you can check. Nice, I got a good one. I got one. You can check Gravity Industries YouTube channel and to watch the full video. I'll put it in the show notes. And I was like, all right, we're gonna get there. I think in our lifetimes we will see something fun like this.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that shit on me or try it ever, but yeah.
So this thing costs 100,000 pounds right now, with production costs spiraling to well over $1 million. So
I would be the one asshole to like fly into a plane or something.
You fly into a billboard and kill yourself.
Yeah, like something embarrassing.
I guess you don't want all these fucks up in jetpacks just flying around. That could be very precarious.
Yeah. It would be fun to see all the fucking videos, though.
I know. I can't wait for that.
Like, just epic fails, like, every day.
Yes. Jet suit fail compilation videos are going to be the best thing out of all this. All right, gang. Well, look, that's the show. Ruggs, how you feeling? I'm glad you made it.
I made it. I did it.
Tell the listener where they can find you.
Oh, if I'm still alive tomorrow, you can find me at Twitter at Really Rugboy. So go to Twitters and go to Really Rugboy or look me up. You can interact with me there.
He is a puppet for real, people. We're not lying. You can find all our shit at jockandnerd.com. Make sure you subscribe. Find a way to listen, whether you like to listen on iTunes or Google Play or iHeartRadio or TuneIn or Player FM. We're everywhere. Just search Jock and Nerd Podcast and tell a friend. The next person you see, give them one of these. Jock and Nerd will be your friends forever. This has been the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll hear you next time.
Hulkamania, running wild.
Oh, yeah.
You smell what my cock is cooking.
I'm coming to get you. What happened to that? Now it's just boring fat white dudes.
White.
Talking nerd. Oh, God, I've insulted all of the wrestling fans.
Pronounce the H in white, friend.
What? He was a what guy.
Yeah.